Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about that things with you, how can create that relationship with using that query builder, and also here I created that relation with the categories and the user, right? So right now here we don't need this. So now in this video, I want to discuss about that edit and the delete option. So first of all, I want to complete that edit and update portion, and I want to do that work with using that Eloquent ORM. And then I will also discuss about how can we create that edit and update with using that query builder. Then every concept will be very much clear to you. So for doing this, I better here I using that query builder, right? So now I want to make it as a comment out, and that is our Eloquent ORM. So now I open that Eloquent ORM. So when you open that Eloquent ORM, and also here we have to update. Before I have already put some of the note, so you can see now that is actually open, right? So now our everything is working with using that Eloquent ORM. If you now click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, and now you can see it's now gone because of all. I hope you already will understand what exactly the things you have to do. Here you have to use that method name, that means the user, and then you have to use that name, right? So that is our name. So that is the user method I have created in our model. So that is our user, right? So now I open it. And now if you click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, yeah, everything is now perfectly working. So that is our designation. So now I want to edit it. So if you want to edit or delete, then first of all here I want to add another field for adding our two of this button as edit and delete button. So that is in our all category index page, right? So now open that all category index page, and here I want to add another field. I want to add another field, and I just name it as action. So I name it as action. So for the action, I want to add also another TD. Better I copy it. So after this TD, here I paste it. So here we don't need this. Here I want to load one of the two of this button actually. So if you want to add two of this button, then here I want to add one of the ahref. Okay, that means the ahref, and into the ahref area it will be as edit, and into the edit area also I want to put some of the class. So I want to put some of the class, and class will be as a, they have also one of the bootstrap class as a btn. Okay, btn info class I want to use for the edit button, and also I want to take another one. For the delete. Okay, delete, and for the delete better I want to use another bootstrap class as a btn danger. So I name it as a btn danger. So now if you click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, yeah, you can see there is a two button is added as edit and the delete. So now I want to add some of the link. Like if you want to edit this category, then you have to add that a specific this ID category, right? If you go to our table, the table you can see for the sea fish there is actually a specific one of the ID as a 1. For the card there is a specific one of the ID as a 7. So we have to update it, you have to edit it with a specific one of the ID. So how can add this ID? So I show you. If you want to add this ID, so right now we are already into the for each, that means the for loop, and into the for loop we get all the data with these categories, and that is our categories, right? So now I want to first of all create one of the URL. For the edit I want to create one of the URL. So that will be as a URL. That means we have to create one of the route for this one actually. So here I want to add it. So that will be as a, I name it whatever you want. So now I name it as a category edit. Okay, category / edit. So this type of one of the name, and also after that we have to add our this ID. That means this ID. So that is our field name as the ID, right? So with these categories I have already get all that our data. So we also can access our this field as an ID field. So now with this category I want to do, with this category I access our category name, the name, right? And also the created ad. So right now I also want to add another one. So here after that edit, okay, after that edit I want to add another one. That means with this category I want to access our another field as ID. So when you access this field, then everything will be very much clear to you. Like if you now click as a save all, and now if you go to your site, and now if you refresh it, and now if you put your cursor here, you can see friend, it's now showing as edit 8, edit 6, and also it's showing as edit 5. Edit 5, but here I didn't add that slash, so that is actually the slash, and here you can see we have to actually add it inside this this first bracket. Okay, that means here we have to add it. Okay, so that is actually our first bracket. So into the first bracket area here, after the key category edit, that will be our URL, and after that slash it should be our ID. Now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, and now if you refresh it again, put your cursor, yes, you can see that is a category edit and the 8 ID. There is our 6 ID, there is our 5 ID, and there is our 4 ID. So now I want to edit it with a specific one of the ID. So here if you click as a edit, then it should be redirected to our another page, and then this category name will be visible. Okay, so here I want to do that work. For doing this, our procedure will be very easy. Just here, that is our URL, right? So we have to create this URL, and also that have one of the ID. So if you want to create this URL, we have to go to our web route. That means that is actually our web route, right? So that is our category controller. Before I have already added that get method, post method. So now I want for the edit, that will be as a get. So here I want to paste it. Okay, so here I don't need this name. I remove that name. Okay, so here we don't need this name. Here I want to using that our URL. So our URL will be category edit. So I copy it, and now in our web route, I name it as a category edit. Okay, so that will be as a category edit, and after that category edit, they have also one of the ID, right? So here also we have to add this ID with the third bracket, and here we have to add this ID. So this ID means here you can see friend, that is our URL. So that is our URL, and after that URL, they have one of the ID. So for the reasons here we have to add it. That means the category edit, and after that category edit, they have one of the ID. Right, we have to update it with the specific one of the ID, and then our controller name. So that is our controller. Right now we are using the category controller, and with the category controller I want to create one of the method. I name it as edit. Okay, so that means the edit method. So now we have to create this edit method in this category controller. Right, now go to our category controller. So that means there is a controller, and there is our category controller. So into the category controller, after this, okay, so here I have already discussed about that things with you. So after this here, so that is our last one. So here, okay, so here I want to add one of the function, that is a public, and then function, and then our method name will be as edit. So now I add that edit, and also into the edit area here you can see we have to add this ID. They have also one of the ID because we have to edit it with a specific one of the ID. So now I copy it. So here we have to add this ID. So now I want to take this requested ID, right? And after this, if you use that Eloquent ORM, then you have to I take one of the variable, and I just name it as a categories. Okay, name it as a categories or whatever you want. So now if you use that Eloquent ORM, we have to use that our model name as a category model. Okay, that is our category model. So with this category model, I want to find, then you have to add that find. That means that is actually the find our ID. Okay, so here we have to add our this ID. So that means this ID. Perfect. So if you use that can we look at ORM, then you have to actually do that work. So now I get that specific one ID data, right? That means here I get a specific one ID data or the 4 ID data, a specific one of the ID that I get, and I take the things with this variable. So now I want to pass it. I want to pass it with a specific some of the page, because here I want to visible it, right? So if you want to pass it, what exactly you have to do? You have to add the return and then view. Remember, into the return view here, I want to create one of the view page. So if you want to create that view page, that means in our category folder, here I want to create one of the new file. Okay, I create on the new file, and I name it as edit.blade.php, right? So I want to create one of the page as a edit.blade.php. So that is in our view admin folder, that is category folder, and that is our edit. So now I want to add that link. That means that will be in our admin folder and then the category folder, and then the edit, our page name, right? Our page name as edit. And here I want to compact it. So I want to compact our which data. I want to compact our, I get already a specific one of the ID data and take the things with this variable. Now I pass that our specific one ID data in our edit page, right? For the reasons here, I simply compact it. So friend, that's all you have to do. So now we have to work in our this edit page. Okay, so now open that our edit page. That means that is our edit page. Better from our index. Okay, from to the admin category index, better I copy everything from here, and now in our edit I paste it. So here we don't need here actually I need this part, not this part. So better I want to delete it. Okay, so that is our edit portion. Into the edit portion, that is our call 8. So that is our call 8, and also after that there is our call 4. So now I want to actually remove everything. I want to remove everything from here. That is our call 8. So that is our call 8. We don't need this. So after that row, that is our call 8. I just simply copy everything and remove it. Okay, I take only that call 4 and I make it as a call 8 right now. So that will be as a call 8. Perfect. So now I want to update it as a edit. Okay, that means that will be our edit category page, and also it will be as a edit category. Sorry, it will be as a edit category, and that is our edit category. Okay, that will be as a edit category, and then here we have to also add one of the URL. So right now better I remove it, rather than it will show some of the error, and then that is our CSRF. So first of all, I want to actually display our this specific data, which data actually get it and take the things with this variable. So here I want to actually visible it first. So that is our level will be as a category name. So it's okay. Rather than you can also make it as a update category better. Okay, it will be as a update category name. Okay, it will be displayed as an update category name. Our field name will be just like that, same as a category name. So our category name will be visible here. Only I want to visible our specific ID data. So if you want to visible it, you can visible it with using that value. Okay, so I want to use that value. So there is a value, and into the value area I want to display our this data. That means a specific one data I already pass it in our edit page with these categories, right? So now I want to actually add these categories. That means here it will be as a categories. So now I want to do with this dollar, that will be as a categories, and into the categories area I want to display our field name, our database field name. If you go, our database field name as a category name, right? So this the category name I want to visible. So if you want to visible it, here you have to add this category name. That means that will be as a category underscore name. I hope it's very much clear to you, friends. So into the value area it will be visible. Okay, and then it will be just like that same. That is a form validation, that is a add category. So now I want to make it as an update category. That will be as an update category. So now first of all I want to visible it. Okay, so that's all. Now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, I click as a save all. Now go our side, and here I refresh it. So now if you put your cursor, you can see, friend, that is actually edit and the 8. Now if you click as edit, yes, you can see it's now redirected to our category edit with a specific ID data as 8, and also into the value area it's visible our this field name, right? That is our field category name. I added it with using that value. So for the reasons you can see our value data is visible. So that is our value data. Okay, so here I use that value, and that is the categories. I get a specific ID data, that means a specific one ID data, and here I display our this ID name. So for the reasons you can see it's now visible our this name. So if you go to all categories again, and there is a man's fashion. Click as the edit. Yeah, you can see it's now showing as edit 5 ID data, and that is our man's fashion. Perfect. So here we successfully get our this specific ID data. So now we have to update it. So if you want to update it, then we have to add some of the action for this one, right? So if you want to add that action, that means in our edit, and here you can see that is actually our form. So into the form area, I want to add one of the URL. Then that means when you click as the update category, it will be added this action, and also it will be as a post, right? So method will be as a post. So now I want to add one of the URL. That means that it will be as a URL. Okay, sorry, URL, and into the URL area it will be added better here. Here I want to add one of the name, whatever you want. So now I name it as a category update, category/update. Okay, and also here one thing, so we have to also update it with a specific one of the ID, right? That is actually the 5 ID. So that is actually a specific one of the ID. If you go to that another one, that is our 8 ID. So we have to update it with a specific one of the ID data, that means ID category. So here also we have to add this our category. So after this, okay, so after this I get all the data, that means a specific data I get it with these categories. So now with these categories here, you can say pass that edit into the edit page. So here we can actually use that categories. So now with these categories I want to access our field name, that means category field table field name as ID. So this ID means that is our category field, and with the category field, and that is actually our ID. Okay, so here we have to add it. That means right now it will be updated with a specific one of the ID. So if you want to do that work, so right now we have to actually create this URL, right? That is actually our category update URL. So now go to our web route. So friend, if you understand this procedure, then everything will be very clear to you. Okay, so now you can see that is actually the method. So our method now it should be as a post method, right? And also our URL will be this one, and after that URL they have also one of the ID. So it's pretty simple. So here I want to make that method will be as a post, because here I want to update this data. Okay, that means this data will be updated, and after that, and that will be our URL. There's a category update, and after that category update they have one of the ID. So that will be as a ID, right? So because of all after that there is actually one of the ID. So now after that there is our category controller. Into the category controller I want to create one of the method, and I just name that method as update. Okay, that means the update method. So now we have to create this update method in our category controller. So now go to our category controller. Into the category controller, so friend, here I'm using that all Eloquent ORM. Okay, so later I will also show you how can working with this query builder. So now I'm going to create another function as a public, and then function, and then our method name will be as a update. So now I update it. And when you update, they have the two things I have already discussed about that things with you. That is we have to add that request, right? That means request and the $request. That means the $request. So this request means whatever the request I passed from our this input field. Okay, so from to the input field there is our category name. So here I pass that field name. So here we have to add this request, and after that also they have the one of the ID, right? You can see they have also one of the ID. So we have to also add this ID. That means here after that we have to add this requested ID. So I just simply add that ID. Okay, so that is actually the ID means you can see that is actually this requested ID. So that is actually the ID. So now here we have to add it, and after that if you use that Eloquent ORM, then I show you, like I take one of the variable as an update or whatever you want. So right now I name it as an update, and then with our categories model. Okay, that means with our category model I have to add that find, and find with our specific ID, right? So here we have to add that our specific ID. Our specific ID means this specific ID, that requested ID. So we have to add it, and then I want to update this ID data. So here we have to add as a update. I name it as a update. Perfect. So that's all. And after that I want to add our field name. That means which field ID data you want to update, right? So here we have to add this field name. So after this Okay, after this I want to add our field name as a this one I want to update, right? That is actually our category name. So I name it this category name, and category name will be our requested category name. So our requested category means, and that is actually with this request. Okay, with this request our requested category is this one. That means this category name. So now I want to pass it. Okay, so that means whatever the requested what update data I passed from here, that means the input field. That means if you go here, whatever the data you will update from here, that will be our requested it. Okay, that means the request data. So that is the request data. That means this one is actually our request data, and that is our field name. And this category name will be actually our this database and this field name. So it should be updated in particular that area, right? So for the reasons here, I updated that part. And after that also I want to update that our user, that means user ID. If you want to add, so I also want to update that user ID. Okay, so user ID will be our same as the auth, and with this auth I want to use that user. I have already discussed about that things with you. So with this user here we have to add that our ID, that will be our ID. Okay, so that's all. So with this now we can actually update our category name, and also that is user ID. So after that I want to actually pass some of the page. If you want to pass it, it should be just like same, like just like that same. Better I copy it. Okay, that means when it should be done, when it should be updated, I want to show some of the message. So it should be return redirect, not the back page. That means here it should be return redirect to our this index page. Okay, so that is actually our index page, and into the index page it should be redirected, and after that it should be also show some of the message. So if you want to add that redirected page, that means I have already created one of the route. So you can also add that route, and route will be, if you go to our web, that means web route here, that will be our all category, right? So I have already created that one of the page, that means our category all, that means that is actually our category all. So right now I copy it. It should be redirected to our particular this route area, and into the route area, into the category controller, all controller, I have already declared it. If you go to our category controller, into the category controller, you can see all cat here. It should be loaded one of the admin, category, and the index. I hope it's very much clear to you, friend. So it should be redirected to particular that area. I want to add that our route name. Our route name will be all categories with some success message, and here I want to display as a category updated. Okay, category updated successfully. So this is the information, that means this message will be visible in our all categories, that means our index page, and into the index page I have also displayed this message. You can see if this session have any success message, then it will be show this message. Perfect. So friend, that's all you have to do. So that is our update portion, and that is our edit portion. I'm using that Eloquent ORM. So now let's check this out. If everything okay, it should be work. Click as a save all. Okay, I click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, so now it's showing some of the syntax error as unexpected this. Okay, unexpected this in our category controller. That is our here. So that is our 67. Here you can see I added that semicolon. It should be actually the comma. Okay, so I understand it. That means here into the here you can see I added that semicolon, so it should be as a comma actually. Okay, so that is the comma, that is update. Okay, now let's check this out again. Into the category controller, they have also one of the showing as a one of the error. You can see it's now showing as one of the problem. And now if you click as a save all again, now you can see it's now perfectly gone. And now if you refresh it, yeah, you can see it's not perfect. So now I want to update it. I click as a edit. I name it as a Aryan. Okay, I name it as a Aryan, and now I want to update this category. Yes, you can see friend, it's now successfully update, and after that update it's redirected to our category all page, and our message is visible as a category updated successfully, and here you can see it's also updated. Perfect. I hope friend you can well understand about it. So here I have already declared that part. When it should be updated, then it should be return redirect our route as a all category with success message. So that is our success message, right? So you can see it's now showing as a success message, and also it's redirected to our category all page. Perfect. So if you want to change that anything, there is a hello. I make it as a hello one. Click as the update category. Yeah, category updated successful, and that is actually our category. Perfect. So friend, we successfully complete our update portion with using that Eloquent ORM, right? So that is our Eloquent ORM, all that code. But here, if you want to update it with using that, if you want to update it, if you want to edit it with using that query builder, how you can do that work in our next video. I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.